He's not this actor. He doesn't have the frame and the build as Henry Cavill. Like, he's kind of a thin dude. Like, he's not that buff. He tried his best, but like.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Collecting Brothers. I'm John. This is Josh. Let's go ahead and break down this week's news. Toy news, of course. Well, let's jump over to NECA. First up here, we're getting Tattoo and Wham. You ever seen Christmas Story? A Christmas Story? Oh, it's a classic. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. Like, it wasn't part of our childhood, but like Alyssa's, my wife, it was part of her childhood.
Everybody in the United States, really.
Well, I mean, was it part of our childhood?
Well, white people's.
Oh, okay,
every white person in the United States. Yeah. No, it's normal. It's a normal. It's a classic. It's a Christmas classic. Yeah.
Fair enough, right? I wasn't introduced to it until later in my life, and so there's a character named Wham in that, and I love that we're getting a little bit of Tattoo and Wham here from the NECA and T Turtle line. So we previously saw these in San Diego Comic-Con. Nice to get the pretty pictures and a full solicitation of these. Tattoo's cool. I love the big old sumo wrestler. I think that that will work with a lot of fun things, a lot of good playability, and Worm is weird and stuff, so that's fun too. It's a 2-pack too, so you'll get both in the pack there.
Yeah, just funny looking action figures. I think proportions are wacky and crazy, just like you expect from the cartoon line. I don't see like much cross compatibility. Like, I don't think it's gonna work, like, because of the proportions are so wacky. So definitely kind of shoehold into your NECA TMNT line.
All right, and they don't have them, so if you need them, you need them. Next up, we get a little bit of a wandering Raphael here, man. He's got the eye patch. He's got the kind of the basic soft goods there. They do lay pretty well. I mean, you're not going to get any kind of like flowing to it. And this is the Eastman and Laird Turtles, Raphael. So.
Yeah, very thin cape, but what are you going to do? It's not going to get any folds or creases, right? Super, like, especially this shot right here, you can see it's like, looks like a shower curtain or a tablecloth. It's so straight, right? Super straight fabric. But yeah, you're not buying it for that. You're buying it for the figure, for the sculpt, for the paint apps, which is all there. So,
and I do want to do just a quick shout out because I opened up my David from Jada Toys, and the soft goods on that are like pretty decent for that price point, man. I just want to say that. I'll do a full review on that later on, but I was pretty impressed with the soft goods on the David Jada figure. So it's interesting because like you can get that for $35, right? And what was next is like $35, right?
Yeah.
So it's like interesting to see the discrepancies in the soft goods abilities. All right, let's keep going here. Next up, NECA announced that they're doing the Superman, James Gunn Superman. What do you think of this, Josh?
I mean, I don't think it's gonna work too well just because of the scale. Like, it's 7. Well, I mean, actually, maybe with your McFarlane stuff if you want to, but it's gonna be 7 scale. And I think NECA as a company doesn't lend itself to doing superhero action figures, because NECA's, for me, what I buy NECA's are for is for sculpt and paint apps. The last, like, I'm never concerned with articulation with them because they usually have terrible articulation schemes and just things are really stiff and don't move right. They're rigid.
Right.
And you'll snap it if you try to move it anyways. So like when it comes to superhero action figures, like, I want to be able to like play with them, pose them, like not be afraid to break them and just bend the arm, bend the leg, get crazy dynamic poses. And that's not something I think NECA is good for. So I don't like NECA doing this because it's just, I don't know, it's just not going to work, I think.
It's interesting. They're in the movie business, right? They do a lot of movie recreations, specifically horror, but they're not like, they don't shy away from them, right? Like, I have all my Pacific Rim figures because of NECA. Ain't nobody else doing Pacific Rim figures at that time outside of NECA. So they aren't part of like the, that pop culture movie world. And so it is interesting to see, because we got the announcement from McFarlane that they're saying, hey, we're going to be doing McFarlane DC Multiverse Superman figures. And then boom, NECA is also going to kind of try and do their thing as well. We'll see how like those two kind of combat, but it's interesting.
Well, not only that, like, this is a big blockbuster movie. Like, it's either Superman or Batman that carries DC, right? Either one or the other. And like you mentioned with the Pacific Rim toys, like, NECA does kind of more niche things that nobody's going to do. And so that kind of incentivizes collectors to buy them. Whereas, like, not only is McFarlane going to give you a James Gunn Superman, Mayfix is going to give you one, SH Figure Arts is going to give you one. We're going to get multiple Superman by James Gunn. I bet you anything, even Mezco gets this one. None of those have been announced yet, but I would bet my house on it that they're going to come. And so like weird to see them kind of go in knowing that you're gonna have such heavy competition. Like as we saw with the Beetlejuice, like their Beetlejuice was the worst Beetlejuice per price point, per sculpt, per figure, like across the board. And so it's going to be the same situation with this. This is another Beetlejuice Part 2 for NECA.
Yeah, very saturated market. It is going to be a blockbuster. That's how they're billing it. And yeah, we'll see what happens, man. All right, speaking of McFarlane, let's go ahead and jump over to them. They just recently dropped Our Man is now in stock over at Target. This is a fun little figure here. Cool cape. It's sculpted. You know, it is what it is, but a fun little Our Man character here.
Yeah, really cool how they did the time turner piece on there. Even though it's like all molded, the paint apps are not that bad on that tiny little piece on that little sand turner thingy.
Yeah. Next up, Superman. James Gunn Superman. And first up, we're getting a deluxe figure here, Mega Fig, the movie of the Kaiju figure. $50 due out July 2025. Now, dude, I feel like we've lost some articulation on the Mega Figs. Like, look at this Kaiju here. I understand it's not going to be to scaled Superman because like this is supposed to be like a full-on Kaiju and Superman's a human. And McFarlane's just trying to do their best to get like that figure out as a Mega figure. And I like it. You know, it's got some axolotl vibes and stuff. But I mean, no elbows, no knees. You got a waist, you got some shoulders and a head, I'm assuming. So it's like what, 5 points?
Yeah. And I think it's gonna backfire. Because for one, it's not gonna scale 1-to-1 with your Superman, right? So if you're a Superman fan, it doesn't really fit in your display that well. Like if I was a Superman fan, I wouldn't want this. The only reason why what would interest me want this is just a straight up a cool monster figure, right?
Yeah, Kaiju.
But then it doesn't have articulation, so it's not even a cool monster figure anymore. And so I feel like it's kind of missing the ball on both kind of communities that would be interested in this figure, because this is just a hunk of plastic, a brick, and then like you can't even display it with your Superman shelf that well. I would say you can still do it, but it's not going to look like that cool.
I 100% agree with you. Like the fact that we're not getting the most articulate, or at least the most basic articulation on this, like it just bums me out. Like, yeah, I would love this character as an axolotl Kaiju, right? That's showing up, but like the arms aren't hinged. It just the bummer, man. Because like we used to get mega figures with full on art, you know, multiverse articulation.
It's not even that like crazy articulation, just like a little bit. Like you can look at the Grodd.
Yeah,
I think the Grodd. I don't even think his knees bent, but I'm pretty sure he had elbow, but I can't remember if his knees bent or not. And like it's not that
knees were
bad
so shallow too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not that bad with the knees. He's just missing the elbows for sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I agree with you.
And then even a waist should not be swivel. It should be rocker.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If we look at past mega figures, you can kind of see there's definitely been a shift, right, to more of that like rotocast plastic where it's hollow, and that's just not for me, man. I love Kaiju's, you know me. I love my Godzilla.
Probably Todd just trying to find ways to save money and keep his price points. You know, he's just trying to keep his price points, but now in this day and age, it's like impossible. Then like it might almost be worth it, as bad as this sounds, to increase the price point and just give us the quality, because like he's keeping his price points, but me as a collector, I'm not interested anymore, because like even if you keep the same price, I'm not going to buy figures that don't move.
I agree. I would like an action figure to move. This is not it. So this is like the Godzilla that they announced, you know. All right, let's keep it going here. We got a Metamorpho. I'm not sure if this is the main villain, but a villain from the new James Gunn Superman, and he's looking really cool. That's one thing I don't know. I don't know how you feel about James Gunn, but I enjoy his movies and his takes on different characters, and I like that he always likes to do the deep cuts. So like a Metamorpho, you know, he's not doing like Lex Luthor is in the movie, but he's not like doing like a main Superman villain. He's kind of doing some of the B-list characters, right? I enjoy that from James Gunn, and so we got a Metamorpho here.
Yeah, no, it should. You know, this movie should be killer. The trailer looks phenomenal. I think, it's going to be as wacky, but not like too super wacky. Like it's going to be exaggerated like comic books, but not.
Yeah.
Like not type baloney, you know. I feel like James Gunn's like the perfect kind of medium, where it's not super serious, but it's also not a joke.
I think James understands, right? Like you have characters that hold the line of the seriousness, right? Yeah. And then you have some characters that do not hold that line. And that's where you can kind of make those jokes happen. But he's never going to give one of those jokes to one of the more serious characters, right? it's the comic relief, I guess is the better term for it. And
you can see this character has like nice bright colors, but definitely a serious character, right? Because you can see the card art is
right,
like he's like a sad boy. He's like gone through a lot of stuff on his body.
something, right? Yeah, and so I do enjoy James Gunn films all the way back to like Super and Slither, right? I've always enjoyed James Gunn. So we'll see what he does with this movie. I'm excited, not as a Superman fan, but as a James Gunn fan for sure. Next up, Superman Cooks, dude. We're getting a Superman movie, Superman 7-inch scale heel figure, $25.99. Holding that price point. This is going to be just just the movie version of that Superman. Cool thing though, cloth good cape. I like that it's coming in at that price point, man.
Yeah, and honestly, at the $25 price point, I'm really impressed with the likeness to what's the actor's name? This guy.
I actually do not know. He's kind of a newer actor.
Yeah.
So
I think great likeness, like especially because they don't even have 3D print tech. I feel like the sculpt is there, even though the paint is kind of just slopped on and cheap. The sculpt is carrying on this. So great job to the sculptors. One thing I will say though, and I don't know, this is not McFarlane's fault in my opinion. I think this is James Gunn's costume designers, not fault, but it's just hard to interpret
their choice.
The loose, baggy, kind of not form-fitting suit on this character because they're trying their best, but then it doesn't look right because it kind of looks bulky, but then it also looks kind of tight, so it looks inaccurate to how it looks in the film.
Specifically in the chest area.
Yeah, and he's looking almost too buff, like because of the loose form-fitting suit. This in Superman the movie appears like not that buff to me. Like the muscles are not that defined because of how loose fitting the suit is.
This ain't no Dark Knight Returns Superman.
Yeah, or even the Henry Cavill suit, right? The Henry Cavill suit is super tight. You can see every muscle striation, but this one not. This one's more like this one literally looks like the Peter Quill suit in Guardians 3. Literally looks like a ripoff of that, straight up.
All right, yeah. So we'll see, man. But again, this thing's sold out, man, on Entertainment Earth. So people want it. People want it. The funny thing too is also the Superman Metamorpho 2 like set box, like a full set, sold out as well. Even though Metamorpho single release is still available. It's like that's how much this character, this figure is like people want to pick it up here.
Oh yeah, I think like this is James Gunn's are going to bring like a whole new fandom and a whole new kind of obsessive fan base to Superman because I feel like now because Batman gets so many movies compared to Superman, Batman's kind of been the number one DC, but I feel like with this movie, everyone's just going to love Superman. Like even me, I'm like, man, I need to start. I thought I didn't like Superman, but maybe I do. One looking at this though, the NECA one, the McFarlane one, they're at a cheaper price point. If that's your budget, this is great for you. But I'm really excited. I feel like because of the loose fitting suit, I can't wait to see. I really hope Mezco does one.
Yeah,
because I feel like Mezco's soft goods would lend itself perfect to this suit because this suit's going to be so hard to execute in hard plastic. I think even I'm not bashing on McFarlane, but I think even Mafex and Figure Arts are going to run into the same issues. Even though they have higher end plastics and higher end sculptors, they're going to run the same issues where it's going to look weird and it's not going to look accurate like the movie. So I think my best bet is going to be Mezco. They got to do one for me.
Okay. Yeah, they'll throw in that soft good so it will lay like it does in the movie. So
right.
All right, let's keep it going here. We're getting a Superman Crypto. So they did a deluxe release of that same Superman for $37.99, where you get the actual Crypto dog and some face plates, dude. Again, I love McFarlane going into that faceplate. We'll see what they do with their future toy lines, but I do enjoy the faceplate, right? That's like something that the import companies do. But here is a Superman with Crypto. It's a deluxe version.
That Crypto looks awesome. I love the way they got kind of the ear up. That doesn't bug me how like static that pose is going to be because he appears like that in the comics and also even in the trailer. I've probably seen that trailer like 20 times. I don't know why, but I'm hyped for this movie. Like I really enjoy it. Okay. I think just visually, I like how bright it is. I don't know. I think it just matches Superman's tone because Superman, is boy wonder, kid savior.
Well, it gets power from the sun too, right? So like,
yeah, dude. I'm excited, and I think everybody else is excited. One thing looking at this vanilla shot though, I think one thing they messed up is the shoulder line. Because even in the card art, do you see how his shoulders are kind of going down? And from
they taper a bit.
Like I said, I've seen the trailer like 20 times. I kid you not. He's not this actor. He doesn't have the frame and the build as Henry Cavill. Like he's kind of a thin dude. Like he's not that buff. He tried his best, but like there's genetics that play factors in this. He's a skinny Superman, I
True.
would say. And like, I feel like this action figure is depicting his shoulders a little too wide, a little too, because like, I don't want him to look like Superman. I want him to look like Superman in the movie. Do you know what I'm saying? Like here he looks like a Superman, but I need it to be accurate to the movie. So yeah,
I agree. And like, I don't know, if we think back to like Superman, like Christopher Reeves wasn't that yoked as well.
Yeah, he was thin dude for sure.
And so I don't know where they're drawing, kind of like finding that line. They are doing their own thing, but I agree with you. Like that's a very hard line on the shoulders from the sculpt, which I agree. It should be a little more tapered off.
Yeah, and
it's
this dude's
very
not
hard.
Because one thing it also takes away from is that like kind of like very Superman Kingdom Come-esque is that the Kingdom Come Superman has like the collar that goes up, but because his shoulders are so down and they're not tapering down, if you look at the card art, you can see his collar is very defined. Like you can be like, this Superman actually has a collar. But if you look at the figure,
it's higher.
It doesn't look like he has much of a collar. And I need to see that collar,
Yeah, it's lower set. I agree with you, man. Next up, we got some teasers here, just some like first looks is what they're calling them. We got here Mr. Terrific. Love this. This is kind of weird. And maybe it's just how McFarlane does soft goods, but like I had so many people, I saw so many people in the comments like praising the fact that they did the hard plastic jacket instead of the previous Mr. Terrific, like the comic version where we've gotten the soft goods plastic. I will admit that I have not handled any kind of McFarlane jacket. I've wanted to, like the Jonah Hex or the Captain Boomerang and Mr. Terrific. Like those look great, but it sounds like the sentiment is that it's not that good. And I've heard other things too from other collectors where they have gotten some soft goods from McFarlane, which just don't quite hit the mark.
I mean, I have like I complained last week about that Batman Cowboy of how thin it was.
Yeah.
And then with the Boomerang, I honestly think that Boomerang trench coat is good. This one, I remember seeing Mr. Terrific comic one with the soft goods. It's good, but I think this was the right choice because of the text on the elbow and on the back. Like that's gonna be literally impossible to do on a soft goods kit. Like if it was just
difficult
straight colors, he could do it, but to get this level of detail where you can see this is not only red but it has white border, the other one has literally it's inlaid with black and red inside. Like you're not gonna be able to get that on a leather thing, and if you do, it's gonna be like a overlay of a vinyl. It's gonna peel off. So I agree with the community sentiment. I'm glad he went with the sculpt, and from what I can see in this figure, man, likeness looks like him. Colors are looking right. Sculpt looks good. Proportions look good. Sometimes that's kind of my biggest gripe. Sometimes with NECA and McFarlane is sometimes they get proportions a little wrong. But from what I can see, this looks right.
Good. Another first look here. We got
Lex Luthor, bro.
What's his name? Nicholas Hoult. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Sorry. Nicholas Hoult, who plays Beast from the X-Men in the X-Men universe. But yeah, Nicholas Hoult coming in as Lex Luthor. It's kind of suit. It's hard, but pelado, but what you got to do what you got to do.
I don't mind this. I think when it comes to characters that are in suits that are iconic characters in suits, like the Kingpin, like freaking Nick Fury, like characters like that, where the suit is actually a part of the character's design, I'm actually hyped about it. And on top of that, even like the Joker, and especially when you get a defining color that's very attached to that color, like you get that white, you get this purple Lex Luthor. I love it. I think it came out great. Like I don't want no super Iron Man suit Lex Luthor. I need a vanilla Lex Luthor. I don't need that Lex Luthor just yet.
The power suit, the power suit.
I don't need no power suit Lex Luthor just yet. I feel like the sculpt is there for the Nicholas. I think it looks like him. I think it's just more of the paint on the eyes is kind of just a little. What are you gonna do? It's this price point, but the sculpt's there. The sculpts are like if you removed it with some nail polish and you were customizing your companion yourself, it's gonna look good.
I agree. Another first look here is one of his robots in the Fortress of Solitude. That's what Superman calls it. These are cool. These are fun in the trailer, and so it was fun to get a little preview here of the figures that are coming in. Great looking robots. I think the design of them from the movie looks great, and McFarlane's doing a great job giving us a little soft goods too, on these robots too.
Yeah, and then fantastic kind of sheen on there. You could customize this to fit in your Star Wars universe. And it also just looks like how a robot would be depicted in like the past. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like where like in the 60s, 70s, they'd be in the future. That's what I get from this robot, which is really cool because it's kind of like bringing it back to when Superman kind of first like was in the comics and super popular. But man, what really just means that Fortress of Solitude background, man, I need that. Whoever made that looking good back there.
I did not add to the show, but McFarlane did do a like powers, like the smaller scale figures that they do of a Fortress of Solitude with the crystals and stuff. So I didn't add to the show just because I was like, it's all right.
I have to go to the gym fair and buy a bunch of calcinite and make my own Fortress of Solitude. Dude, yeah, like I'm not joking.
There you go. You can do it.
This rock. There's like this rock that I swear looks like what you can make a Fortress of Solitude out of, you know?
Yeah, you could do it. All right. Next up, we're getting another Target exclusive here in store now. This is a Green Arrow. And this one looks good, dude. I like the variation on the textures here. The cool little, is that Johnny Bravo haircut? But yeah, no, this is another cool McFarlane figure, man, for the Green Arrow. And whatever version this is. I think it's fun.
Dude, yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 DC Multiverse figure. I think the proportions are on point. I love the lankiness of him, you know, because as an archer, it's got to be skinny boy, super agile. I feel like they captured that for this Green Arrow. Because sometimes I feel like, and it's accurate to some comics interpretations, that they really yoke out Green Arrow. But it's like, if you're an archer, you're not really yoked out. You're more like an elf. You want elf proportions, especially for Green Arrow. And I feel like they captured that. Love that freaking sharp jawline, dude. Man, this figure is 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I think they did a good job on this one as well. All right, now we'll go ahead and wrap up McFarlane. Let's go ahead and jump over to Star Wars. Just a couple of reveals with the with the premiere of Andor Season 1. Friends, check out, we did a reaction and kind of predictions of what we're seeing from Episode 1 on our YouTube channel here. Check us out. We'll be following up on every single episode of Andor, and we'll be kind of talking about and chatting about it. Episode 2, 3, all the way to the season end. We're excited about it. But yeah, we got a range trooper here that we saw in Season 1. Or Episode 1, sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, and what's different about it, and I didn't realize this till you're showing this now, which kind of sucks because now I have to buy this, is that the bottom feet are different because the first range troopers were on the solo train, and so they had magnetic boots. These range troopers do not have the magnetic boots, and they just have straight up normal boots. Completely different bottom. I think from the knee down is all new, like the calf piece and the foot piece. And of course, you're getting the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
One thing I did see, though, I think this is Target exclusive, right?
A part of the holothon? I'm not sure. I cannot be sure on that.
Yeah, it might be, but I've been seeing people. It was posted for $25, and then it got taken down. And now today, I saw people posting that it's back up for like $35. And so now this Black Series figure is $35. Like, dude, things are wild. Who's gonna pay $35 for a range trooper? I can go on eBay and buy the Han Solo range trooper probably for like $20-15 right now.
That is crazy. Yeah, actually, I did see some people like posting Tony the Tiger up for 25. Like if you found him in store, he was ringing up for 25, but like online, he was coming up at 35 from Target.
Yeah, and so they put it at 25, and then they took it down and put it back up for 35.
Right. That's crazy, man. But there's that range trooper, and then this again specifically from Andor because he comes with the rocket launcher, Episode 1. But yeah, there's that range trooper. Next up, though, they're bringing back a Rogue One Jedha trooper.
Yeah, Jedha Patrol Trooper. This one, nothing new here. This is just a straight re-release, unlike the range trooper. It's a great figure, but the crazy thing is this one also went up for 25, and then is also taken down and now solicited for 35. Which what's kind of crazy though is like this was a mass-produced figure. This was an army builder, readily available. Like we even went on sale for I think for like $12 or $14. Like I pick up a couple of these when they were on sale. And so like you can go on eBay right now and get this exact same figure used from people on eBay probably for like $15-20. The same thing. And so it's like I think this tariff situation is really going to affect Hasbro's re-releases specifically, because if it's a new sculpt and a new character that's being done, collectors like me, completionists, are just going to buy it. But if it's like a re-release, then literally the secondary market is going to outsell or have cheaper prices than your Hasbro's re-release, right? Which is kind of insane because you can go online on eBay and get these for way cheaper. Why buy them from Target at $35? Insane.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. We'll see how long this state that we're kind of living with and dealing with exists, but we'll keep it going here. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to Mezco Toys. We got a full reveal here of Woodford, the frog butler, kind of sidekick.
Like the companion to Doc Knock, right? Yeah.
To Doc Knock, right? I was going to call him companion, but I was like, maybe he's more of a sidekick because of how much work he does. But yeah, to Doc Knock here, Rumble Society for Woodford. Yeah, he was looking cool, man. I love that you get two different looks on him. You get like the butler look where you can kind of run around, but you also get like the leather jacket. He's got his leather jacket out there, and he's out there sidekicking with the boy Doc Knock. And I love Doc Knock, man. I do love that character. But yeah, the only thing I'm seeing here, man, great figure from Mezco, great soft goods, but $116 for Woodford?
It's rough. It's rough. It's because, like, on the one hand, great sculpt, great paint apps, amazing soft goods. And I feel like has the articulation you would need in an action figure of a frog that can smoke and kill people. But like I'm saying, it has the articulation it needs for this type of character. But with that being said, there's not much articulation. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It's like I'm not asking for more, but I'm maybe asking for, like, maybe I don't even know. I really don't know. Is the price justified for what you're getting? And maybe with the accessories and the faceplates, maybe it is actually,
116 though?
Right. And on top of that too, something else I just thought of is it's kind of a smaller figure because he is kind of a sidekick. Yeah. He's kind of a Frogger boy. He's a thicker boy, but he's definitely, look at him on Doc Knock, right? It's just like a little short king.
I mean, yeah. Short king. Soft goods crushed it, right? I agree. Like everything about this figure is amazing, but I feel like the price point's just a little too much, man. Like, keep it under that 100. I don't know. And that could be, some other extraneous
other factors coming
into play. I get it, but man, it's a tough swallow.
Yeah.
But yeah, this figure looks great, man. And it's so much fun. Mezco's always having fun with the Rebel Society, and build that kind of the Doc Knock world. I love, and I'm here for. I am here to get Doc Knock's butler, kind of the Alfred version of him. Great looking head sculpts here, different hands, and then fun accessories. Homeboy can get a minigun strapped to himself, right? That's so sick.
The alcohol too. I really like that glass with the plate. Yeah, that whiskey bottle. It's really looking like a bottle of whiskey. Like you can see there's like different colorations of like the red and the dark, where like the light reflects because of the bottle's design, and they're capturing that perfectly.
Yeah, like it's Mezco level quality, right? Like it is great. Just that price point is really hard to swallow. You get the bomber jacket as well. So there is Woodford. Yeah, again, great companion piece to your Doc Knock. Kind of fill up that world. We'll see what else we get from Doc. Man, I love that boy. All right, well, I'll go ahead and wrap up this week. A lot of fun toy news, friends. We're always talking toy news here at the Collecting Brothers. All right, friends. Again, let us know down below. We always love hearing from you. And as always, keep collecting, keep playing. May the action figure gods smile upon you. Peace.